Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. This is Tamara the Paper and Pen Girl, and I am here to do a brief video for you on my faith planner and my reading the Bible in a year plan. So if that's something that you are interested in, stay tuned. So this is going to be pretty quick, pretty easy because the plan is going to be self-explanatory. And I have switched up the plan a little bit, so which makes it a little bit easier for me. So I will share that information. This planner that I am using is the One Day at a Time planner. It is by Happy Planner and it is horizontal. It does have color and it is neutral. To me, you see, so even though it has color, it's still pretty neutral to me. This planner serves two purposes. The monthly calendar aspect I'm using for my church calendar, and the departments that I serve in at church, I'm putting the monthly calendar of events on there. So that section you won't see, but everything else you'll be able to see, which is the weekly page section. The first thing you come into when you come into the planner is the My Bible Experience printable sheets. I have one for the Old Testament, one for the New Testament. These are just printed on regular printer paper. This printable is available from Print, Pray, Slay. You can go ahead and go to the website at printprayslay.com and you'll find a link to the Etsy shop. This is from Kelly. She does have a YouTube channel as well that you can visit to see so many more printables that she has that you can use to do Bible journaling or in your regular planner. So like once again, printprayslay.com. I will have that linked in the description down below. What I used to make the colors on this sheet is mild liners, and they're done randomly. I was watching a video done by Kelly on her channel, and I saw her with this printable, y'all, and I saw her do this, and I was like, my life, I have to have it. She has two versions of this in her shop. The version that goes vertically like this, and she has another version that goes horizontally. So you look out for that. I did prefer this because it looks more streamlined to me, both the Old Testament and the New Testament version. So that's what I liked. And so how I chose to color my boxes was I color the what is read that day. So all of these were read together. Actually, this first one is supposed to be here, but then after I did the first one, my brain said, let's just color everything you read on the same day together, which is exactly what I did. So I've completed the book of Job already. The book of Job was a listening, more of a listening and a highlighting chapter, because we've done a study on Job at church for a whole quarter already, and I don't want to dive into this right now because if I do, you can get lost in the book of Job. Okay, you can spend the whole year there studying and digging into Job. So I didn't not want to dig too deep into this. Let me know in the comment below if you agree with that. So Genesis 1 through 11 I've already done, and the next one's going to be, I believe, 13 onwards. The plan that I initially started using was a chronological Bible in a year plan, but the printable that I was using had me reading for 5 days a week, but the reading was too intense. So it was a 5-day-a-week chronological reading the Bible in a year. It was way too intense, y'all. I did not have the necessary time to do that, and so I switched to the YouVersion Bible app On the YouVersion Bible app, it does have a Reading the Bible in a Year chronological plan, and that plan is titled As It Happened. So I am currently using the As It Happened. That has made it tremendously easy for me to do my reading. I do not get my reading in every single day, but I make sure that I am caught up by Sunday. So whatever it is that needs to be caught up, y'all, I'm caught up by Sunday. And so that has been really good for me. The main point of my reading the Bible in a year is to, Lord have mercy, is to highlight the things that I need to come back and take a look at. Highlight things that I had not noticed before when I've previously read those chapters or those verses. Some chapters, of course, I have not read before, so I'm only going to be highlighting or writing out the things that speak to me, that I'm inspired to write out. So I'm not journaling or doing an in-depth study, but what I am doing is pulling out the things that are speaking to me. For instance, in Genesis 1, where we do have the creation of the earth and man, it said, God said, let there be a firmament to divide the waters from the water. And this firmament is heaven, is what I, wrote down here. And let the waters under the heaven be gathered together, and let dry land appear. So this is the earth and the sea that was made. And I did not notice before the whole waters under the heaven, which is under the firmament, right? So that whole connection right there, I did not notice before. That was in Genesis 1. So in Genesis 2, you see where it's the creation of man and the Sabbath. Genesis 3, you see where the serpent, it says the serpent is more subtle, y'all, is more subtle. So even when you think you're doing what's right, you could possibly be doing wrong, because the serpent, the enemy, is more subtle. Verse 14 also mentioned, because thou hast done this, thou art cursed above all the cattle and above every beast of the field. So to me, what that spoke to me and said is, when you set out to deceive people, because here was when the serpent deceived Eve, and told her that what God said he didn't mean, right? So we have to be careful. What God says he does mean. And so because the serpent set out to deceive, which he did succeed in deceiving, he was cursed above all else, right? And it says, thou shalt dust shall you eat all the days of your life. And I was like, man, that's some serious things, right? That's some serious things. When you set out to deceive people, dust shall you eat all the days of your life. So you are setting such a curse upon yourself that that spoke volumes to me, right? So we have to be very careful. So then we moved on to Genesis 4, which was Cain killed Abel. Then the generations of Adam, which we're not going to go in all them names. Okay, we're not going through with all the names. Went into Genesis 6 when Noah built the ark. And I loved it where it says, but Noah found grace in the eyes of the Lord. Noah was a just man and perfect in his generation. So it is possible. Noah was just a man, was a just man and perfect in his generation. So it's possible for us also, according to God's standard, not human standard of perfection, to be perfect in our generation. So that I really loved as well in the study. So everything you see that I've highlighted here, which pretty much is everything I've written, is something that I need to go back and dig more into as well. so I need to go back and dig into this. Then we got into Job, and I did not dig too much into Job. What I did write as well, Job 1 verse 1, it says, Job was perfect and upright, and one that feared God and eschewed evil. So here we see it says again that Job was a man and he was perfect. So we see examples of two perfect men. Did they sin? We see that they, especially with Noah. But at the same token, it was counted, right? Something was counted to them as righteousness. So we have to do more studies into that. Genesis 9 talked about a perpetual covenant that God made with man. So we have that to look into as well. So I got a lot of stuff that I need to come back and study in 2020. So this is getting information now and coming back to study it in 2020. Job 38, right? So we got Job 38, and I especially loved in Job 42, verse 17, it says, so Job died being an old man and full of days. I just love this. And what that really is saying is, be complete when you die. Like, have everything spent out of you when you die. You are old and you are full of days. That means you have lived life. You have done what the Lord has asked you to do, and you have been rewarded for that. So I absolutely love that. This sheet here that I have is for my notes that I make, sermon notes at church. So my sermon notes are going to be going on this. Usually my Sabbath school lesson and my sermon notes would go Sabbath school lesson, sermon notes here. But this is what it's going to be on from this point on, which is why you will see that I do have extra sheets in here. So that's going to make my planner a little bit bulkier, but I think it's all good. I did make this dashboard on a live late night video that I did. So I have this main reason. So when I turn this over to be able to write, I can protect the back of my page, and it's beautiful. It's really pretty and beautiful. So I like pretty and beautiful things. If you have any questions at all, let me know. I will be coming to give you a check-in one time per week on this study and how the study is going, and give you a little bit of overview of the things that I found interesting. If you are reading the Bible in a year, you let me know what you found interesting in the chapters that you are reading as well in the comment box down below. Let's talk about this a little bit. Let me know. Even if you are doing the same as it happened Bible chronological study for the year, that would be great. Another reason, before I forget, why I do love the YouVersion Bible app version is because someone reads it to you. You can have audio, right? So it's being read to you, and then I follow along as it's being read to me. I can highlight different sections of it. I can pause it, do what I need to do, and come back. And it keeps a track of what I have read so far, what I have finished. If I get disturbed and I'm not able to finish the chapter, I just reread the chapter when I get back into the app. And it's easy because it only takes a few minutes for the app to read through the whole thing. Of course, it takes a little bit longer for me to write the information that I need. But I would definitely suggest that YouVersion Bible app. If you have any questions, like I said, please let me know. As well, I will link the video that I made this item in. It's going to be long, so you might want to fast forward it because it was a late night live, a very long one, because I had to get this done so that I can have it for my planner. Well, thank you all so much for spending the time with me, and I will see you all on the very next video. Bye-bye.